Oh, gotta get these earrings off. They're killing me. Okay, hello, hi, beautiful. Welcome. I am Ebonati. This is Ebonati Beauty. Today I'm going to show you guys how I got this gorgeous look. I'm so obsessed with this one eyeshadow that we got in this palette. It was not what I was expecting, but we are going to do some Shein makeup today. It'll be very exciting to show you guys these palettes. I'm loving Shein. I'm doing a huge clothing haul later this week for you guys, so make sure you're subscribed if you're interested in that. The look I'm going to be showing you guys today, classic, very simple, easy to achieve. I'll show you where, if I had any struggles, what I thought honestly about the products that I'm using. As always, I have a tickle on my nose. I have a tickle. I need that to stop. We're better now. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already and you want to see more, like I said, from me, Ebonati. Cool. We're on Instagram as well, Ebonati Beauty over there. Other things for the brand Ebonati that I do, like I do card readings for tarot and stuff like that. If you guys are interested, it's Ebonati Official here on YouTube. I did a huge fall essentials haul for you guys that I'm excited to try on and show. So boom, hit that thumbs up if you like this one, if you're liking it already, since we're like 15 seconds in, and I will see you in the tutorial. I'm just kidding. Okay guys, let's get into it with this tutorial. It's time to show you how I got this super fabulous look. Yes. Okay, so today guys, we're gonna do something really simple. We're just gonna throw together pretty much a quick look. I just want to do a quick fall inspired, something kind of fun. I've got both of these palettes from Sheglam, which is from Shein, that I'm really excited to try out today. The colors I'm excited about are in this one. So this is the Beach Sunset palette. Excited to try that. Primer today, we're going to use the Wet n Wild Primer Serum. This is the Prime Focus Hydrating Serum. It's got this beautiful, like shimmery, almost like a glitter, but it's super fine in it. So we're going to start out with that. Ooh, it's cold. So in the 4 places, and then it's super watery, this stuff, and it gets a little bit tacky, not like sticky or anything, but this definitely doesn't like fill in your pores or anything. It really is just a hydrating primer. So we're just gonna rub this in. And my skin's feeling a little bit dry today, so I am going to rub this in like all over under the eyes and all over the face. And it's starting to dry up a little bit now. Just make sure I get it around the mouth. Yes. Okay. Once that's all set, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild foundation today as well. So we're just going to step into that. I have 2 different colors today because I'm kind of like in between right now. I got the dewy in both. I got soft beige and soft ivory. One says light warm and the other one says light medium. So boom. I'm mostly going to use the light medium and just use the light warm, it was called, in like my T-zone under my eyes and stuff like that, to start prepping for my concealer afterwards. So if you've never used the Wet n Wild foundation, it's got this weird little spatula thing. Can't say that I'm in love with the spatula, but, and it smells super weird. It's got like a kind of a oh shit. If you don't know, don't ever drip foundation on your clothes because it is so hard to get out. It can literally like stain your clothes. And I just dripped it on my hoodie. So I guess that means no talking shit about your foundation. I'm going to clean off one end of the lighter one to put it under my eyes and my nose and just the center of my forehead, if I can get it there, and my chin. It's like so messy. So not a huge fan of that applicator. And then I'm just going to blend everything together, starting with my cheeks and going on my nose. How's your guys' fall been? Are you enjoying fall right now? Did you have a good Halloween? Did you celebrate at all? Did you do anything? If you dressed up for Halloween and you were like super stoked on it, please tell me what you dressed up as, or down below, like tag your Instagram or something if you like have public photos, and you'd like me to check it out. I would love to see what you guys wore for Halloween. I didn't do anything exciting for Halloween this year. Like, I literally didn't. This is the first time I put makeup on in weeks. Like, I literally can't remember the last thing I put makeup on for, and it was definitely a filming thing as opposed to like a social event. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves and enjoying the holidays, even if you aren't doing anything like exciting for Halloween and stuff like that, or any of the holidays or anything social, nightlife, whatever. If you're just like chilling your life away right now, then good for you. And whatever you're doing, you know, good for you. As long as you're happy and you're enjoying yourself right now, then I'm like stoked on it for you. You know what I mean? If you're like a fellow blogger, definitely link your stuff below. I'd love to check you out. Shout out to all my YouTubers out there and all the people that are jumping on this YouTube bandwagon in the last like year and a half or so that we've been in this fucking boring ass pandemic. Like, I'm just so over it. Are you so over it? I don't know. Tell me all about it. I mean, don't tell me all about it. We don't need to go there. This is a beauty channel, right? Right. Okay, so I'm liking the mix that we got going on here. Everything is really blended in. This is a beauty blender, but I used to use the Real Technique sponges, and I still use them all the time when I don't have my beauty blender, or like I just go back and forth. So use whatever sponge that you like. I know people still like put their foundation on with brushes and stuff. I never have, but do you, baby, do you. I'm just like looking down at that foundation spot like, please don't stain my hoodie. This is one of my sets from Shein, and I love this color, this like crimson red color, especially in the fall. It is my favorite. So we're just gonna really quickly, I'm using the Maybelline OG Age Rewind Concealer. If you guys still know this concealer and reach for it sometimes, shout out to you. I do love a good OG. Something different that I'm doing now is instead of highlighting just my jawbone, I'm highlighting like out the corners of my mouth now too, like to give me that whole thing. And then I still do a little line like out here, just to make my jaw more prominent. Okay, going in with this beauty blender again. I'm going to use the butt end of it for the forehead and the chin and the jaw, just to lightly blend that out. Don't need a lot of product down there. We're going to do all of this stuff again when we get into our powders. Then we're going to flip it over and use the pointy end to like create those lines and just bounce it back and forth. We didn't even carve pumpkins this year. Like, usually that's something I do for sure because I love roasted pumpkin seeds, but like we didn't even do that this year. There was just like so much going on. Like, as you can see, a different background again, especially if you've been around for a while. We just moved back into my great grandmother's house, which is my mom's house now. So we're staying here for a little bit. We had to move out of where we were, which was all for the better, really. It is time. It is time finally to kind of like pick a place and stay there for a little while. I know a lot of people are moving and stuff during the pandemic, and in the last couple of years people are changing careers and everything. For contour, we're going to use the Wet n Wild contour stick. I've been using this one for forever. I bought this one so long ago and I still have it. It's Where's Walnut. I love this color. And I just kind of do like a hook line like that. And then on my chin to like shorten my face a little bit. And then along the forehead, pretty much like, I have such a small forehead, but I do like it to be tanned. And then the nose, I like to go like that too. And then right there. And I already know I need more there. And that's it. And then I'm going to use one of my brushes from the BH Cosmetics brush sets. This is the number 6, and I can't remember what this set is called, but I have a few different sets from them, and I just kind of bounce around between them. So if you're looking for an affordable brush set in Canada and you want to shop online, I would highly recommend checking out BH Cosmetics. I first got put onto them with Carly Bible. If you guys remember her first eyeshadow palette that she came out with, it was BH Cosmetics, and I got a brush set with, when I ordered that, I ordered a brush set as well. This is not that set, but but I've been buying my sets pretty much from there ever since. I really like the brand, and I have like a few of their eyeshadow palettes too, which are pretty decent, but now I get too excited by eyeshadow palettes like in the drugstore and just like online and stuff like that, so I buy my eyeshadow palettes mostly from other places, but I do like have to try them out sometimes, you know. So just gonna blend in this chin contour, making sure to blend like down and like out. I'm gonna take it like all the way up and connect it to the cheek in a second, but first I want to just keep the product concentrated to like bronze up the lowest part of my chin, so it kind of shortens it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna take it over here. Just like that. I've been watching so many movies lately. Like, I love movies and TV shows so much. Like, I've always read books and stuff since I was a kid. So I love stories, all different kinds of stories, and especially like movies. So, and TV. So I've been watching, let's see, I watched Squid Game. I know everybody watched Squid Game and it was like, oh my God, it was such a thing. I wasn't gonna watch it because I thought it was just like not gonna be really my thing, and I don't just like jump on just because there's something new like on Netflix. I usually have other stuff that I've got on the go, but I did watch it, and surprisingly I thought it was okay. Like the first episode was kind of hard to get through because neither of us, like me and my boyfriend, we didn't really know what we were watching. It was kind of just like, what the fuck is this? But I figured because of the game kind of thing, then it was going to be an interesting game. I was very curious to see about the whole social experiment and the game and what was going to be going on, because we had recently watched a movie called Circle. I don't know if I think it's called Circle, not The Circle, the one with Emma Watson and Tom Hanks, not that one. I think it was called Circle. And it was just like the same kind of thing. It was like a life or death thing. It was voting. It was like really interesting. I'm not going to give away any spoilers if you guys haven't seen that one. But if you like that kind of thing, I would highly recommend checking that one out too if you like Squid Game. Because it's the same kind of thing where if you're interested in like the social experiment aspect of it, it's like so interesting. I feel like movies like this concept can be like so much better done though. Like not just I know they always jump and it's not just all stereotypes and stuff like that, but I still feel like it's kind of like underestimated in a lot of ways and not entirely realistic, which like The Purge or something. Like we recently also watched The Purge, and I like so fell in love with it. I had to watch the whole series, like the 4 movies of The Purge, 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to watch all of them like a few times, and I'll probably even like during the holidays watch them a couple more because I'm so curious about like the different emotional aspects that they take you through in the movie, and then all the stereotypes. So I have to like psychoanalyze it a little bit and watch it a few times. That's definitely my style. So let me know if you guys recently watched, or if you like movies and shows like that where it's like, you know, very interesting on what people would or would not do in the situation. Okay, I'm going to use one more concealer and just highlight a little bit again under the eyes. This is from Shein. It's the Sheglam brand, the same brand as the eyeshadow palette that we're going to be using today. I need to slow down. It's called Eye Candy Pro Longwear Concealer from Sheglam. Again, I got this on Shein. So I'm just going to, it's like this huge tube. It is 25 grams or 0.85 of an ounce. That's so much concealer. Like, I really like this one as like a hydrating concealer, and it's got, It's just got the little nozzle on it. Excuse me, whoa, that's way too much. But I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and highlight under my eyes. It's the best for hydrating. That's, again, so much. But it's so good for hydrating, and it's not entirely, I wouldn't say it's full coverage. I would say it's light to medium coverage. When it blends out, it's really nice and soft and hydrating. Should I say hydrating again? Which is why I love putting it out here, and I kind of like rub it in a little bit to like, oh, it's so good. Rehydrate that area. I feel like I haven't done a chit chat in so long, probably because I haven't. You know, and I just realized I forgot paper towel, so pause. But I just wanted to sit down today with you guys and chit chat a little bit about things that I've been watching, things that I've been enjoying, what's different in my fall routine right now compared to what I would normally be doing. Like, I'm really not doing any of the outdoor activities. I mean, I guess a lot of people are with this pandemic, even with the vaccine and the whole thing. I know a lot of people are just kind of like chilling out right now and waiting to see what the hell is going to go on in the world. So I get the chill vibes and I'm feeling it. I'm in a very, very small town. If you guys missed it or you're new here, hi. I'm Ebenadi and I am in northern BC, British Columbia, Canada. Way up north. Like, we the north. Yes, we are. We really are, hun. Okay, the Sheglam powder that we're going to use today is the light pink one to bake under the eyes. You know, just having like a genuinely shitty day. That's what I'm having today. I'm having a genuinely shitty day today. So I just decided, you know what? At least I can film. I probably shouldn't have done a talk through though. That would have been the place to not do that. We're gonna do it anyways though. Okay, so baking is like, that's a hard thing to get on camera for you guys, but the first thing I do right before I bake, like I got my powder ready, I got my brush like in my hand, I press out all the creasing. I've given my concealer a chance to like sit for a second and just sort of like dry down on its own, and now I'm going to bake it, but I gotta press out all the creases first and then go in and bake. Okay, so that's the bake. There's not a lot of talking that can happen during the bake, but that's pretty much how I do it. I start under the eyes, I work my way down the nose, I bring it onto the cheek, I go around my smile lines, I finish off, only put it on the chin for the highlight, but especially if you're oily and stuff on your chin, that's what you want that for. And I put the last of the last on my forehead because I'm also not very oily there. If you are oily there, those are where you really want to bake it. So put a good amount of powder. This is not supposed to be the finished look. Okay, that's what baking is all about. If you're new to the world of baking, my girl, come to our world. I promise. It's so, as I like go to put more powder on, I'm like, I promise it's so much better. And you're gonna inhale so much of this stuff, so just get comfortable with that idea, okay? Because that's how it goes. I'm really not into snorting anything, you know. Do you do whatever you do, but I never snorted a goddamn thing in my life until I started baking, and then it was like, well, you know, beauty is pain. Beauty is pain, baby. Okay, and I'm gonna finish up with the nose just by like softly blending that out, and then again just leaving it, putting a little bit more on the tip. And I'm not really baking the eyelids as much as I'm just setting them with the powder. Again, pressing the creases and stuff out first. I am going over my brow because I've got like just so much going on with my brow right now. We're just not even gonna deal with that. So I'll do my brows after, but it won't be anything strategic because they're hairy and like crazy right now. So that's it for that baking powder. We are gonna set the rest of the face down because it's all liquidy and creamy and delicious right now, which is just not practical, okay, for long-term long-term use. It's just, that ain't gonna work for you. So we're gonna bake it down. I'm gonna use a Makeup Revolution one. A loose setting powder. Again, you can use a pressed powder for this part, but when you're baking under the eyes, especially if you're new to this, I recommend a loose one. You're gonna get a lot less of like a cakey effect, and you probably don't need as much coverage as you think you do. So play with ways to build up your coverage if you're really trying to get that perfect, clean, non-cakey base. Don't start with like the highest of the high coverage unless you've got like a lot of stuff going on, and try to do that in your creamy layers as opposed to your powder layers. Okay, try to keep the powder layers as light and sort of like airy as possible. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that into this dinky ass cap and try to shove this giant brush in there, which is not gonna work. So we're gonna get this effect. I didn't want to have to take my rings off, but we're gonna have to. So we're gonna, just kidding that, and dump it into the balm. The balm of your hand. Okay, this is going well. Okay, so when you have your powder in the palm of your hand, just like bounce your brush in it. There's gonna be so much still left on your hand, which is a good thing because we can put this on in layers. And then I'm just gonna lightly press it into the cream contour, literally just like pouncing it on, just getting us started here. You can bake like under the jawline too, which I do quite a bit. I just want to keep this simple today. And just set down the rest of my face. You don't want to like move around the cream layers at this point, so be really careful that you don't like make skips and stuff in them. Oh. I really didn't want to get powder in my brand new rings, but that's okay. Okay, this is actually setting down really, really nicely right now. I obviously, I'm in the dry season for my own self. I'm not an oily girl, I'm a dry girl, that's for sure. But I'm probably normal more than anything else. So just wanting to set this down. Now that it's almost set and dry, I'm gonna start kind of like buffing it around a little bit, but still very, very, very light pressure. I really like to make sure everything's blended like into my hairline and stuff like that, like but I don't want to get like makeup all over my earrings, so I always try to like hold them back when I blend out these parts. But I really like to make sure, without trying to like get too much makeup in my hair and stuff, I really like to make sure everything's blended around my hairline. Okay, for bronzer today, the Milani bronzer. Been loving this one lately. I got it in Sunkissed number 2. This is a silky matte bronzer. Oh, I smashed my mirror. Okay, I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. I feel like sometimes it's so hard to tell with the lighting and stuff like that, if my makeup is fucking crazy or if it looks bomb. And I'm not using front facing camera, I used to, but I'm using my other camera and then just looking in my in my standing mirror to make sure that everything is in frame and focus. I'll put a little bit on my nose, a little bit on my chin, and then the rest on the forehead. I like to really bronze up with the powders because then the highlights don't look quite as harsh. Take a little bit down the neck. Just make sure everything is blending. Again, that same spot like between the eyes, I just kind of like wiggle it back and forth on my nose. Simple. I'm gonna try not to put too much on my neck and stuff so I don't go all red, because I am gonna be filming after this. Same thing for blush today, using Milani. This is the Rose blush. This is Tea Rose number 8. I love this one. Another matte product. And where's the blush brush? I'm using a flat blusher for this, for my brush. This is a really powdery blush, but it's really soft and pretty, so I really want to kind of layer it on quite a bit and give like a powdered pink effect to the cheeks. How's your pandemic going? Like, yee, not great. It's great. I live with my mom again and we get along so fucking well. Portuguese parents, you know? Y'all got some immigrant parents or what? What do you got going on? Tell me all about it. Okay, for highlighter, Wet n Wild. Got a bit of a theme going with Wet n Wild today. This is Precious Petals. Love this powder. Can't say enough about it. For a highlighter, though, you want to be really careful to make sure to blend it out so it doesn't look crazy metallic on your cheek. You don't want it to look like your eyeshadow. You know what I'm saying? You want it to look like you're glowing from within. On your nose, however, and like your Cupid's bow, yeah, go for it. Just go for it. So much go for it. Definitely one of my favorite places to kind of go all out. I'm going to go above the brow bone with most of the powder and then drag it through even onto my eyelid, just keeping it in the center. I want to like cast some natural light and then just go around blending like crazy, which is why I use this brush, another BH Cosmetics brush that I absolutely love. This is the It's My Ray Ray collection. And I love this brush. I got a little bit of lip gloss in it there, a little bit more on the nose and a little bit on the chin. And then in the inner corner, you can do the same thing, just add a little bit of light. Okay, now for the fun part. Now we get into the eyeshadow palette. Again, from Sheglam, ordered this from Shein, had no idea what to expect. I'm gonna start off with this color right here. Just a nice neutral color called Dusk. Wow, that's a lot. It's too small in here. It's definitely too small in here. I'm gonna blot some of that off so we don't go fucking ham. And I'm just gonna show you guys how I'm gonna do this today. So I'm very inspired lately by Kristen Dominique. It's so weird when you try to say someone's name in like real life and you're like, wait, what's her name again? Because I've been following this girl on YouTube for forever. And I'm just, what I mean by inspired by her is I love the way she like blows out her eyeshadows and just keeps the crease. Like she's the ultimate blending queen, I would say. She's the queen of the blend. So I'm just going to keep everything super soft in the crease and blown out. This is like the crease. One thing about the Sheglam powders that I have noticed, the eyeshadows that I've noticed, is the color in the pan doesn't necessarily represent like how it comes out on the eye. This is a super like neutral looking kind of shadow, but on the eye it's coming out like super warm, like red almost. So just something to note. I do love this palette though, not just the aesthetic of it, because obviously the packaging is absolutely gorgeous. I like the quality of the shadows, even if the pigmentation is a little bit unexpected or kind of off. The quality of the shadows is really beautiful, so you can kind of count on it for that. I'm just going to keep blending this in. I'm looking down now because that's how I always blend in my eyeshadows, especially in the crease. So I'm just going to be looking down, making sure that's blended, and then flicking it out just a little bit here into the sort of temple area. I'm going to go into Serene next with a smaller brush. Same collection of BH Cosmetics, but this one's a little bit more flat, so to give me a little bit more precision. Reorganizing myself here, one hot second. Bam. Okay, can already see the pigmentation in this, so I'm gonna lightly put it in here. I hope you guys can see this good. I want to create some drama in this outer corner here. About it. So what the fuck else can we talk about? Fall. I'm trying to think of what other movies and stuff I've been watching, because lately I've just been on like a whole tirade I still love the OA. If you guys are one of my old subscribers, you probably heard me talk about the show The OA before, but I still love that fucking show. I loved that they came out with a season 2. I felt like that was kind of unexpected. Maybe that's me being naive, but I felt a little surprised by season 2 coming out, so I was so stoked on that. I love season 2 even more than I love season 1. I've watched that probably like 6 times in the last year. Like, it's just crazy. I'm like obsessed. For like so many different reasons. I love the puzzle. If you guys know the show, do you love Zendaya in that show, or Zendaya? I think it's Zendaya. That's how I say it anyway, so whoops if I fuck that up. But I love her in that show. I thought her character was just so cool. She's like all wise and just plays, I just thought she played such a great character in that. Okay, now we got that blended. I'm not putting anything more on this bigger blending brush. I'm just going in and blending out that upper edge, making sure on the lower edge too that everything is still lifting towards my temple. And then just blending out the lid a little bit because it was looking kind of crazy. Okay, now that we got that, I am gonna go in, oops, I just stuck my finger right in that. I am gonna go in with this color Aegean and just see how that looks. Again, with the smaller sort of precision brush. So powdery. Okay, sorry, I know I'm stepping back on you guys. I'm just gonna layer that right on top of the other one. Ooh, that is a super red. See, everything in this is like, I know this one looked red, so okay, fair enough, but everything in this palette is pulling like really red. But this one's a bit of a cooler tone. Okay. Same thing, keeping it nice and tight in this outer corner at first, especially with this precision brush. Back and forth, trying not to like overwork my eyelids too, because like I don't want them burning. Do you know what I mean? Ooh, 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 I like that color. I was gonna go for like a more rusty kind of reddish color, but we are where we are. Let us continue. Okay, I'm feeling that. I'm gonna go back into that first color, Dusk, and just blend that edge out again. Trying to make sure these outer corners stay nice and lifted as well. Okay, loving that, loving that, loving that. Now we're gonna go into the darkest color called 8 p.m. And first things first, actually, I want to go under the eye. So let's use Serene again. Actually, no, Serene was like the ready color. I'm actually going to go under the eye with with 8 p.m. So the darkest color in the palette. And this brush that I'm using is like a fluffy precision brush. So I just want to see what kind of pigmentation we get with this color. So let me see if I can show you guys. Ooh, that's perfect. And it's like a purpley brown, which I love right now. That's gonna change the whole vibe with this eye when we put it on top and start blending it out, which is exactly what I was hoping for. So we can start that just by kind of like bringing it up like this with what's left on our brush. We'll blend that all out in a second, but that's very, very purpley. It's a weird ass palette, I can tell you that. Okay, onwards to the other eye. Just doing the same kind of thing. Slowly going in and building up that color. Just kidding. Pigmentation is really good. It's just, this brown is beautiful. It's kind of like a purpley brown, definitely cool tone, dark. But I like the dark of it. It's giving us at least something to work with in this palette outside the shimmers, right? So we'll get into the shimmers in a second. I'm definitely going to use Poetic and maybe a little bit of 6 p.m. But I'll show you guys those in a second if you don't know the palette. Lift this again, just flicking until it's nice and blended and stays lifted. We're going to add a little bit of 8 p.m. to the upper crease now. Just keeping it on the outer sort of crease part. I'm not even taking it onto the lid yet. I'm just blending it with this part. And just kind of laying it in where I'm wanting it to go first. I do kind of like lift my brow too, so it will be like dead in the crease and like partially on the lid, this part that I'm doing, but I'm not pushing it onto where I can feel my lid. I'm only pushing it onto the crease. Just keeping everything nice and lifted. Bringing that a little bit more in to the inner corner now that we're blending. Ooh, I like the way this is going. I really like the way this like dark color is sitting inside all of those red tones. This is so pretty, like I can't believe it. Okay, now I'm gonna bring it into the crease, or sorry, onto the lid a little bit. Just here. It's a bit on the sticky side, meaning like it's not moving around too much, but it will when we blend it out. It'll just require a little bit more blending, which is fine. So I'm darkening it up quite a bit now. I really want this eye to have a little bit of drama. Okay, now going back into this brush that doesn't have any of the purple on it yet. Just going around those edges first. It's already got all of our other colors in it, so that'll blend the edge out really nicely. Again, keeping this nice and lifted over here. My crossover side where I have to cross my hand over is always where things kind of like start to droop down, so you really want to make sure you're flicking up, up, up. And just keeping that blend going on the upward direction. Now we can go into blending out the inner edge before we fully go over this and start getting some brown onto our brush. Blending takes so much time, guys. That's the real kind of kicker to doing your makeup, is how much time just blending out eyeshadows takes. If you want to do like some colors, you know what I mean, and you want them to be blended together and look wearable, especially during the day, you really got to take your time with it. So we'll blend up in a second towards the brow bone with that fluffier brush. But right now, that's looking cleaner. We'll do the same on this side, just blending around in circles all over that purple, making sure all those lines get all nice and blended out. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna put a little bit more of baking powder underneath here. Just whatever's left on this brush. It's my baking brush, so it's always got just a ton of powder in it. Gonna put that underneath. The last thing I will do before I sort of like touch up my highlighter and then add my bronzer, last, is go in and brighten up my under eyes, just in case any dark shadows did fall under there. If you have your full base done and you want to go in and do some dark shadows in the eyes, you can put some baking powder under your eyes and then let that catch all your dark shadows and flick that away. That's possible. Going into our big fluffy blending brush again. This just feels so nice on the eyes at this point. Cool. Okay, now for shimmer, our options are Poetic or 6 p.m. I love 6 p.m. I think it's so beautiful for like a nice Christmas color. I want to do a whole look sort of designed around this eyeshadow. So I think we're going to use Poetic today. Because I have no nails or anything on right now, I'm just going to go in with my finger and press that in right in the center. So that's one press. I'll let you guys watch this nice and close up. That is gorgeous with this brown color. Oh god, like it is stunning. I can't believe how pretty that is side by side. Yes, yes, so much yes. Okay, so just keeping that basically to the center lid. If you can see, I kind of like stopped it before I went over any farther. I'm gonna lightly press it now that there's almost nothing left on my finger, just over the shadow part to give that a little shimmer too, and just bring them all together, but not like too much. I don't want that to lose that darkness, and I don't want it to be like all shimmery over there like it is center lid. Like, ugh. Oh god, it's so pretty in real life. I hope you guys can really see that. Okay, now I want to go into New Moon. Oh, this baby right here. And put that on the rest of the inner lid. So I'm just going to grab a smaller brush. This one. And pick up as much of that as I can with the swirl. It's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, we're just going to tap that off. It's still a lot. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. Wow. We like that. We like that a lot. Let's do that again. Okay. Wow, the shimmers are, that is like, wow. That is fucking pink. You know what I mean? That is some pink ass shadow. Now here, oh, it's got the gold. Oh, you can kind of see it. I hope you guys can see that on camera, how New Moon goes pink and then gold and then pink and then gold. So crazy. It looks phenomenal on the eyes. I was thinking gold, but we are pink. We are very, very pink. I'm going to add a little bit of this to my Cupid's bow. Okay, that's so wild. I love it. I'm just going to dust that off. I living for it. Living for it. Just dusting, reapplying highlighter, that whole shebang. I'm not adding anything to my brush, just adding some blending, dusting off anything that's sitting around, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, moving on. I love under the eyes. I don't want to touch that. I'm gonna leave it. The only thing I do want to do is pick up some of Poetic on my Precision blending brush and just reapply some of that to center lid and blend it in with that New Moon and all the crazy things that it's doing right now. So this became a very shimmery look very quickly. New Moon was definitely impactful. Wow, that's all I can say to that. Wowzers. Even this color that I'm using right now, Poetic, has quite a bit of shadow in it because it's got a darkness to it I wasn't expecting. So I'm just going to blend that around. And now we pretty much have a full shimmery look. But I'm feeling it. I'm digging it. We're going with it. Okay. We're going to do brows and mascara very quickly. I'm going to show you guys what I'm using, and then I'm going to do it off camera to save us all a little bit of time. I can just feel my eyelids sparkling to the heavens. Okay, so for mascara, I'm using Essence / Princess Sculpted Volume. For brows today, where are you? Yes. I'm going to use the Essence, what is this? The Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil, waterproof, in dark brown number 3. And finally, I'm going to use Essence Make Me Brow as a brow gel. So I will be back in a hot second. You know what I just realized, guys? We didn't do a wing or anything, and all of a sudden I feel like doing one. So I'm just going to grab the first liquid liner I found, which is the Essence Super Precise Eyeliner, long wearing and waterproof. I have used this one before, and I do like it. And I'm just going to throw on a little badass wing. If you guys have never seen me do a wing before, it's not very exciting. I do it in stages. Okay, and then before I like 100% perfect that one and give it like its sharp flick, and whatever I'm going to do the other side, just make sure that we can even match them up today. Rock and roll. And that is pretty much how I do my wings. There's a lot of really cool graphic liner designs going on right now where they do like wings off the bottom, they come into the crease, dots. Loving graphic liner as a trend right now. I definitely want to try out a look. I have a whole like black and yellow and white kind of like outfit in mind, and I think the graphic liner would look really cool with that, like some black eyeliner and yellow eyeshadow. Looking forward to trying that out. Okay, so now that we are all done with brows, ow, I keep pulling on these earrings and I hate it so much. I gotta stop. Now that we're all done with brows, mascara, and everything, the last thing I do is go back in with my bronzer brush and touch up this just a little. And then for lip today, I'm going to use this lipstick from, again, Essence. It is called number 3 Bold This Is Nude. And that's what that looks like. Oh, pretty. I didn't even notice that. It's got the little thing there. Love that. Just got to find a liner. I wonder if I have an Essence liner. I probably do. Let me find Essence. Perfect. Okay, this is what I was looking for. So this is the 24-hour Stay by Essence. No, sorry, the 8-hour lip liner Stay, and it's waterproof. Comes with a sharpener, so it's got the little dun dun dun. Love that. I'm gonna use this guy. Okay. And now the lipstick. Oh wow, that's like super creamy. That's way creamier than I expected. Actually smells really good too. A little peekaboo here. I love the lip. Yeah. It was a great nude lip combo. I love how the real star of the show is the inner corner color that we used. I was not expecting that at all from the Sheglam palette. This New Moon color. I mean, I was really expecting Poetic to be like just kapow on the eyes, and it is, but and it would be like on its own, but as soon as you add New Moon, because out of a palette like this, you would expect that the lightest shimmery color is going to be your inner corner highlight, and it came out just stunningly pink. So fun. It would be fun to play with on its own. I feel like there's so many different things you could do with a color like that, so I'm glad it kind of took over the look, and I'm feeling it. I hope you guys like this one. Curious about what's on my nails. It is the Model Ones Pink Lipstick Collection. So it's a gel polish that I bought online. You guys can check that out on the channel if you want to see it somewhere down in the last couple of months. I purchased that, and that is exciting. I have gel polish at home now, so that's what those gorgeous colors are. I couldn't decide on a color, so I went with like my 3 favorites. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Make sure you like the video if you liked it. Share it with your friends. Subscribe. Definitely subscribe if you want to see more from me. My name again is Ebonati. So you can check me out on Instagram. It would be Ebonati Beauty on Instagram as well as on YouTube. Okay, that's it. That's all we got. That's what we got today.